Well, thank you all, and good afternoon, and it's a pleasure to have you here with us. This is an exciting time on our campus because tomorrow's commencement, a day in which several thousand students will walk across the stage, receive their degrees, and prepare to move on to the next phase of their educational professional journey. It's a day that we look forward to all year on campus. But today is an equally important day and a milestone day in not only our institution's history, but the history of our football program. But before talking about the process and Coach Healy, I want to thank some individuals in the room. I want to thank members of our Board of Trustees, Melissa Stegall-Jones, the Chair of the Board, Dr. Linda Latimer. I want to thank Bill Green, for whom this stadium is named, for your support for the program. To Steve Johnson and others, and I'm getting myself in trouble because I could thank almost every single person in this room. You all make this institution move. You've made the dream of football a reality, and you've made the dreams of many of our students who are receiving their degrees tomorrow a reality because you've provided scholarships and supported the infrastructure of the institution. I also want to take a moment to thank someone who's kind of hiding in the back. We've got some banners here. We won some championships here. We went to the playoffs twice here. And much of that's because of the leadership of an individual who's hiding in the back, Coach Randy Sanders. And I want to share a little story on Coach. So last Sunday was a pretty busy and eventful day. And after I got off the phone with Dr. Sander, I called Coach Sander. And I said, "Coach, are the fish still biting?" And he said, "Yes, the fish are still biting." And I said, "Well, what would you encourage us to do?" He said, "Call Will Healy." First thing he said, and it's powerful when an individual who built so much of what we celebrate right out of the gates helps to lead a search in a direction. But we ran a detailed and in-depth search, and I want to thank Dr. Sander, I want to thank Kay Lennon, I want to thank Brian Johnson and everyone in athletics for the work that they did this week, because they worked tirelessly to bring together a pool of some of the top FCS coaches in the country. But then ultimately, when it came down to the moment to make a decision, as with everything Doc and I have done together, Doc stepped forward and said, "Dr. Nolan, this is what we should do. We have the right person to lead our program, someone who shares our values, someone who shares our energy, someone who is blue collar but gold standard, but someone who understands the importance of college football in Tennessee and how college football in Tennessee, particularly here, isn't altogether about preparing students for the NFL. It's about preparing them for life, just like all the students who are going to graduate tomorrow are getting prepared for life." So at this holiday season, as we give thanks for all that has been provided to us, I want to go ahead and thank Santa early for giving us the thing that was at the top of my Christmas list. Santa, thank you for Dr. Richard Sander and Coach Will Healy. I now introduce Dr. Sander.
Thanks, Dr. Nolan. This is really an exciting day for me, as we move forward in our program. Really wasn't expecting this day to be what it is today, but really excited to where we are. On Sunday, when we kind of got the news what was happening about 9 o'clock at night, we knew that the transfer portal would open in about 3 hours, so we probably needed to really get going. So I can't say enough about three people who really were instrumental in moving this process along, and that's Dr. Brian Johnston, who is the sports supervisor for football, Kay Lennon, who is works with me and University Legal Counsel, but she puts up with me a lot of the time. And then David Blackburn. David Blackburn, probably, if you want to know somebody that is really in the inner circle of college football, there's nobody that has more knowledge, has more contacts than David Blackburn. He was an incredible resource. So I just can't say thank you enough to those three folks. But our whole staff really got going on this thing. And, as we did, we knew we had to move quickly, but we knew we needed to make a good decision. So just being quick wasn't good enough, getting the right person. So we did an intensive research. We called so many people. Dr. Nolan called university presidents. David called a lot of his contacts in college football. I called athletic directors, and we kept getting more and more information about people. And as we started to aggregate that information, it became clear that there were a few people that were kind of head and shoulders above everybody else. So the final decision wasn't easy because we had a terrific pool of people who really wanted this job. It was really rewarding to me to see the number of people who reached out to us who had an incredible resumes that wanted this job. I'll bet we probably had between 150 and 200 people reach out to us, and this is in a 2 or 3 day period. But when we got to, the profile of what we wanted, and that's what, President Nolan and I always kind of sit down and talk about what is the profile, what does that person look like? And when we did, one of the things that we felt was really important is we wanted somebody who had head coaching experience. We wanted somebody that could really understand today's athlete, because today's athlete is a little bit different because of the experiences they've had with the rapid changing of the NCAA, with these young men who have gone through COVID. It is a different athlete. So we needed somebody that would understand today's athlete. We needed somebody that could navigate through the transfer portal, who could deal with NIL, who had had success, who knew how to do that. That was critically important to us. But the main thing I think that I always look for is somebody who's passionate in what they do, who really cares. And for me, with my background, I want somebody who really cares about the student athletes. I want somebody who's excited, somebody that really wants to be here. And when we got to that point, it was pretty clear who that guy was. And so we made that decision, and I guess Tuesday night we brought in a couple coaches, called Will like at 10 o'clock on Tuesday night, I think it was, and said, hey, can you come up here tomorrow? Well, he got in his car at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, drove from Atlanta to Johnson City, telling you how much he wanted this job. So, I think when you want something and you're passionate about it, you're committed to it, you're going to be successful. So I'm very excited about who's going to lead this program. I'm excited about working with him, and I want to introduce the next head football coach at East Tennessee State University, Will Healy.
I have never in my entire life been so proud to finish runner-up to Randy Sanders, and if that would have been the first phone call I would have made too. So it seems surreal to have a chance to be here. I've got way too much of my dad in me, so I apologize. My dad cries at the same movie he's watched over and over and over again. So I am passionate about what I do, and I am passionate about this opportunity. So I am lucky and blessed to have a chance to be standing in front of you today. I do want this job, and I am I'm sitting here, and you're kind of living, get a chance to enjoy a little bit of what this process has been like by just hearing those words from Doc and seeing all of you. It means a lot to me that you're here, and I know this is just the first of many incredibly special moments together. So I want to start with thanking the people as well. It has moved quickly, and I know that what's happened here has probably been a shock to a lot of different people, and and I know that it's probably not what everybody had scripted, but the way that this process was handled was absolutely unbelievable. And my first experience was having a chance to talk to Doc and Dr. Nolan, and everybody talks about it, I think, in this profession, but to really see what it really looks like instead of it being a cliche. But if you want to talk about alignment and an investment, and it's personal for the success of this program, because in a lot of ways, these were two major reasons why this program came back, is because of those two gentlemen. And to see their vision, to see their excitement, to understand their investment and their alignment. I mean, there's not many ADs and presidents who shoot free throws together. And so, that was really fun for me to be a part of. And I think a place is only as good as its people. I really do. And to have a chance to work for those two was awesome. To get the phone call to get a chance to work with y'all is a blessing and a privilege. And I know this university and this athletic department's in unbelievable hands because of those two. the committee as well. I know I dealt with a lot of different people, and and to see how that everybody's question was, how can I help you? How can we find ways to improve the program, the experience? How can we find ways to win? How can I find ways to help you and your family? There's just a sense of peace. Sometimes you try to kind of force yourself into making a job make sense, because it's another opportunity, and these opportunities are really difficult to get. For me, this was the one I wanted. This was the one that just felt like that my vision and the people around it, it felt like home. And, we've kind of searched for a home for the last 2 years. And so this is a major blessing for us. And I want to thank the committee as well. I was a 29-year-old passing game coordinator and receivers coach at Chattanooga. And I had two people who were crazy enough to give me a shot at my first opportunity. And that was Dr. White and Ryan Ivey at Austin Peay in 2016. And, think about going through that process with them. And I actually had a chance to talk to Dr. Nolan and Doc about the similarities I see in the vision and the structure and the alignment that, kind of having a vision of who you want to be before you get there so you don't have to change who you are once you get there. And that's what I see as well here, and that's why, so excited about the people I get a chance to work with. So cannot thank those two enough. I mean, you want to talk about not having a clue what you're doing. At 30 years old, taking over a program that's lost like 45 or 46 games. And, I know the first game, I didn't even know that I was supposed to send captains out. So those people sticking with me and kind of just being there for me every step of the way, and it being a partnership. I think that when you leave when you leave the field and you've beaten somebody and you get a chance to hug your president and your athletic director and feel like that you were in the process and the building together, that's unique and that's special, and that's what I've craved, and that's what I've found again. So appreciate them. I know I had an opportunity to go to the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, Chancellor Dubois, Mike Hill, Dr. Gaber. Those people were absolutely outstanding, gave me an incredible opportunity, learned so much, grew so much as a coach, and, just appreciate the opportunity that they gave me. And I've had a chance to work for 3 head coaches. Russ Huseman at Chattanooga, which I know is a bad word around here. I get it. But we were fortunate to win 3 straight Southern Conference championships. And Coach Huseman taught me a lot about how to build a program and, how to make sure that you recruit the correct character athlete and you hold high, you eliminate some of your headaches by recruiting really high academic high character people. And then I had a chance, last year to go work with Gus Malzahn and to go to UCF and learn what he's done and written books about offensively and how he recruits at an SEC level and to be a part of a Power 4, Power 5, whatever the heck you want to call them nowadays, program, and watch that transition from UCF, from the AAC to the Big 12 was a special opportunity. I know, we were at Disney World plenty of times, and so it was special for our kids to be able to be there. And really, to be honest with you, I left UCF because I had a passion for coaching. And Coach Malzahn was unbelievable, gave me the assistant head coaching title, and I had so many different responsibilities there, but I didn't have a chance to have a position group, and I wanted to be on the field, and I wanted to be able to develop that relationship with a group of young men. And Del McGee got the head job at Georgia State, was coming from Georgia, had unbelievable success as a high school coach, unbelievable success at the college level, and was taking his first college head job. And I think probably ran out of options and was like, hey, this guy's done it before. You come coach running backs, and, anything that I'm running through for the first time as a head coach, I'd love to run by you too. So learned so much from Del McGee, and wish, both Gus Malzahn and Del McGee the utmost, success, and just appreciate Russ, Gus, and Del McGee for giving me an opportunity to be able to get on the field and do what I'm passionate about doing. Now, the real thank you. My wife, it was a back-to-school party in 7th grade at Boyd Buchanan School. And I'm walking down the hill, and there's a girl in a fast-pitch softball shirt, And I looked at my buddy and I was like, I'm going after the girl in the fast pitch softball shirt. And, 12 years of marriage and 2 studs later, she's been there every step of the way. And, probably the coolest part about yesterday for me was being able to call and say that we've got a home, that I'm proud to take my family, that I'm proud to have a chance to raise my kids, and I appreciate you for not leaving me over the last 24 months. Incredible partner, and just so supportive and special human. I'm a million times more in love with her now than when I met her as a little braces up 7th grader in 1997, and first date was at Pizza Hut, and Alberta was our waitress. But and then we have 2 incredible boys that have lived it too. Have been in 5 houses in 4 years and been to a lot of different schools, and they are so resilient and so supportive and so much fun. And you realize at the end of the game, whether you won or lost, that those 2 guys just want their dad. And that helps you keep things in perspective, but it also motivates you and challenges you, and you have a little bit of a different why for what makes it special to do what you do. The other part about it that's special for me is that my 2 boys have a chance to have a different experience with a bunch of people who don't look like them, may not be from the same spot, may not believe in the same type things, but you all become part of, and I use family a little bit loosely because it's not blood family, but it's as close as you can possibly get to it. And, so I'm so supportive and so thrilled to be the dad of those 2 and the husband of my incredible wife. Can we give them a round of applause so I can stay married, please? My parents and in-laws are here as well, and incredible support. We couldn't do it without them. They've been along this journey with us too, and like I said, I get the crying from my dad. But just very supportive of them being here. Typically, Emily will give me one of these when I've talked too long, and I see Sanders back there. He's already on his phone. He's not paying attention anymore at all. All right, so why ETSU? Okay. For me, it's unique to have opportunities in college football nowadays where you feel like you have a chance to go win and win big and do something that has an opportunity to sustain success. I think that's the biggest thing for me is, are there things that we can still build? Yeah, no question about it. We can, every single day, every one of us here, I think, is pushing and finding ways about how to do it better than anybody else does, and how to give a student-athlete experience that nobody else can give, and for me, an assistant coach experience that nobody else can. And so I don't have any question with what the vision of this university is. But I also think that it's a conference, and it's a division, and it's a community probably more than any that is hungry for incredible success in football. And y'all have built that. I didn't do that. I got an opportunity to be able to come here for the first time yesterday, which feels like 8 days ago, and see it for myself, and was like, holy cow! Just incredible structures, incredible people. And, just hearing from David Blackburn and Coach Sanders about what the environment's like on a game day, I know it's a passionate fan base that wants to win, and I do too. That's why I'm here, because I want to sustain success. I want to do something that's never been done here before. I want to build it on the backs of incredible people like Randy Sanders, who has, I looked it up this morning, the all-time winningest percentage in ETSU football history. All right, my goal is to beat Randy Sanders. Okay, but I also do realize that Trey did an unbelievable job, and you can't hide, from what happened this past 12 months and the transition that took place. I think the incredible part about it for me is I think that there are still a million levels that we can take it even higher, and so I appreciate the foundation that was built, and I look forward to, with your help, building something that's really special with incredible young men that represent this community and this university the right way. I'm committed to that. I don't want to have to get a call from Dr. Nolan about how we've not represented it the right way, and also people and players that you will want to be around. my goal is that the players that we recruit change your perception on what the stigma of a football player is, right? That these are excellent young men that have incredible backgrounds and stories, that have an opportunity in this community to be unbelievable husbands and fathers and leaders, and that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'll recruit to, and that's what our culture will make sure that we build and hold up to. I do think it's a blue collar community, and what I mean by that, I think that's a compliment, in the fact that when I've done my research and when I've seen this place grow and this university grow, I was recruited by these guys, and I use recruiting very loosely. I would never recruit myself. But, before the program ended, I had a chance to come up here, and I used to play in soccer tournaments around and be around the mini dome, and just to see the growth in this university and to look through here and to see what Dr. Nolan has done with kind of a focal point of the university. I think the whole thing just signifies growth and building and excitement and all the things that also are replicated by what this football program's doing and this athletic department's doing. And so, this community to me is, I've changed my, what I'm looking for a little bit over the years. And the biggest thing for me was, what's the best place to raise my family? And I know that Steve told me that we were just ranked in, I'm going to mess up the magazine, but it was A magazine, all right, that says like one of the, the number one spot to live in the country, which I really appreciate from the cost of housing going through the roof. And so if any of you have some deals, we're interested, we're gonna move here quickly. My wife and kids are gonna be here in January, and we're gonna put our kids in school, and we're gonna do this thing together. I'm not living apart from them again. I've done that twice. I did it when I went to Georgia State. I did it when I went to UCF. I want to be dad. I want to be husband, and we're in the right spot at the right time. So we're gonna get them in school, get them here. Eli will feel like he owns the place. I don't know if you saw him doing snow angels at midfield, but that's who our family is. We will be the most accessible football program in college football. Why? Because we have outstanding players that will represent our program the right way, and I'll be proud for you to get a chance to be them. Most of them already here, right? And then the ones that we add will continue to do that. And also because I want it to be your program. I want this community to rally around this program. I want this community to continue to rally around this university. I want to be something that nationally we can do to represent this community and this program the right way. I understand that what our chore is and what our task is, and am committed to doing it at the highest level with the best people, and something that all of you are going to be proud of. So I'm a big positivity guy. I believe that you have a choice every morning, and you can choose whether to be positive, or you can choose whether to, comparison is the thief of joy, and what we don't have, and and what bad situation you're in, all that kind of stuff. I understand there's a lot of stuff going on in all of our lives and all of our players' lives, but I want guys who understand how to choose positivity each and every morning when they walk in our facility, to develop an environment that is full of energy and passion and enthusiasm, that is committed to doing things the right way and never settling for second place. And I know that we'll establish that here. We've got the resources, we have the people, we have the community, and blessed is not even a good enough word to talk about how fortunate I am to be standing here today. So appreciate you coming. Can't wait to work with you. Can't wait to do really special things here, and thank you all for the opportunity.